Coming to you from the New World, this is Mushi Weekly. I'm your host, Sammy, and joining me today is the Tactical Mastermind
Hello, I'm Takt.
and the Panda Esquala Express.
Hello, I'm Divvens.
And this is the 12th episode of your official OJ podcast where we discuss and review the latest One Piece chapter. We're going to start off with summarizing the previous chapter, and in the last chapter, the Tintara and the Straw Hats were about to commence their plan until Robin noticed how devastating Trebol is. As she realized that, she also realized that the plan would fail and Leo would get killed on the spot. Robin then improvises by distracting Trebol and tricking him, which leaves Sugar alone. Not knowing she can handle herself well, the dwarves get outsmarted and overpowered, and Sugar turns all the dwarves who attacked her into toys, and then informs Trebol that it's a ploy. Trebol then gets ticked off, chasing and attacking Robin's clone, which ends up disappearing, leaving an enraged Trebol who flings a ship at the executive tower. Yes, a ship. About this chapter, chapter 739, titled Captain. First of all, this cover page, as usual, Straw Hat cover pages, and this time it's my man, my homie, my pal, Brooke, with Laboon balloons, and balloon is spelled incorrectly.
It was again a cute cover page. It's like the last one was cute with the hamsters and this one is cute with Laboon. And you know whenever there's whales around Brook, they have to have some connection to Laboon. It has to be. It just has to be.
They're basically Laboons. They're not whales. Like, it's just... I was waiting for a scarred fucking balloon, but I didn't find one, which saddened me. Was there one?
Because Brooke hasn't seen a scarred Laboon. I don't even think he knows Laboon has scars. Does he know?
No, he doesn't know Laboon is scarred. I think Luffy mentioned when Brooke mentioned how Laboon is, Luffy or Sanji, I don't remember, one of the two, talked about how he's fine, but he has a bunch of scars. But if you remember when they were when they were coming out into the New World, some of the whales were scarred, so he did see scarred Laboon. You will.
But why would why would he go to such lengths to draw scars on balloons? It'll just look creepy.
Yeah, point. Yeah, that would just be indirect animal abuse.
You can just use paper mache and put scars on.
Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, I liked it. It's not my favorite because.
Yeah, definitely. I like it, and it's not my favorite either. My favorite is definitely Zoro with boss monkeys.
Definitely, that facial expression on both of them, along with the facial expressions on every monkey there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not the Zoro cover page. This is the Brook cover page. Nothing really to talk about that much. It's just a light-hearted cover page with Brook swimming with Laboons, if you will, and I liked it. That's really it for me. I don't have anything else to say. Div, you have anything?
Not really. It's just, as you said, a simple cover page with not much going on. It's just Brook and Laboon who can't. It's just meant to be that way. It's just Brook and Laboon, nothing else, nothing special.
He's just letting the balloons fly away, though.
Yeah,
which is such a waste, honestly. One of them is crying because it's flying away.
Actually, no, he's holding the one that's crying. He's like, leave me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's holding 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to mention that Brook is also skipping. But anyway, he's skipping, holding balloons, and acting like a child. That's the the Brook that we love. Let's move on to the summary of 739, chapter 739. Basically, the chapter begins with the complete shock of Usoland, dwarves, and even Sugar due to what Trebol did. After the ship lands, it off-panel injures Usopp, and in that period of time, Trebol captures all dwarves with his sticky ability and deceives them into giving him information about what's going on. You know, who's involved, why, and all of that. He then attacks the dwarves with his sticky ability, which turns out to be flammable. We then see a flashback between the toy soldier and Rebecca, who argue desperately about the happenings in Dressrosa at the moment. And the toy soldier proceeding to tell Rebecca not to fight in the Colosseum. Rebecca remembers all of that and finally initiates an attack on Diamante. But due to her not so useful weapon, Diamante flutters. Basically, he doesn't really get affected and comments on her weapon being useless in this tournament. He then flutters one of his objects. I'm not really sure if it was the cloak or anything. Anyway, he flutters it into a mace, which he uses to hit Rebecca with. Sabo also tells Bartolomeo to protect Rebecca. And throughout all the chaos and explosions, literally, in the underground world, Leo informs that the captain, informs Usopp that the captain, quote unquote, is their final hope. And only him can end Doflamingo off for some odd reason. But anyway, we then switch to the toy soldier who struggles with Lao Ji, but the dwarves hold Lao Ji to give the toy soldier some room to escape and pursue Doflamingo and pursue his original goal. Leo then confirms the identity the true identity of the toy soldier, who turns out to be Kairos, the undefeated legendary gladiator, the hero of the former hero of the Colosseum, if you will. So yeah, it's this chapter has been a continuation to the last chapter. We've seen some parts here and there, but it all connected to Leo, Usopp, and basically the underground world in some ways. So yeah, Takt, want to give us your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts on this chapter, I love the first bit of the chapter where you're shown the aftermath of Treble losing his shit in the previous chapter, where he threw the ship and you see the duck in the roof of the executive tower and everybody's looking up with their eyes popping, and it's hilarious and epic at the same time, which kind of sums up One Piece, actually, if you think about it. So yeah, you see the duck, and you see the fact that even his subordinates acknowledge the fact that Treble has lost it, which is basically their way of saying, I guess, that it's out of his character. So I like that part. I really liked it, to see the executive house in smithereens. And then, of course, we get a scenic view of Robin's legs, which is the best way of putting it, I think. A scenic view is all I can say. And she pulls Usopp out, and Usopp is, as usual, useless. But at this point, I mean, there's no use beating the same bush again and again. Usopp is useless. Fine, whatever. Let's move on. And I like the really small moments in here, like the really small moment where Sugar just kicks Treble for destroying the executive tower while Treble is talking. That's actually pretty hilarious. Because, yeah, Treble is just speaking to the dwarves and Sugar just kicks him. Yeah, I like that small bit. And we see more of the Tontata's naivety, and this time it's even worse, actually, because they fall for something that is so obvious. It's ridiculous. It's an obvious lie that Treble... How can Treble forget the name of his friends? And he just says, what was his name again? And then, oh, you mean Usoland. So the dwarves are too naive for words at this point, and they get all the information out of the dwarves. And I mean, how the dwarves can say it doesn't matter that you found out, I have no clue. I don't know how their mind works. But what happens next is beautiful. The fact that his sticky fruit is flammable. This guy has, I think after Pika, he's the executive who has the most fearsome power amongst Doflamingo's executives. Right now, Diamante's power is not that fearsome compared to Treble and Pika. Treble has a flammable sticky fruit. So not only will you be immobilized by this by the sticky substance, you can also burn. How idiotic is that? That's like it's a great power to have. And after that, you cut to Leo and how he's I don't know. I mean, this whole bit about them depending on the toy soldier, I don't know what to think about it, because honestly, this is the subplot that I care about the least. Because I know for a fact that even if the toy soldier turned back into Kairos, he doesn't have that much of a chance against Doflamingo. So I don't take it seriously. I don't take Leo's whole desperation seriously because I don't think anything's going to come out of it. But apart from that, the other bit in the chapter was the flashback. And again, with this flashback, honestly, the exchange between Rebecca and Toy Soldier was nice. It was sentimental, but it didn't do anything. I just read it as a regular flashback, and I was like, okay, moving on. So, it's nothing much. I think I missed a few things here and there. This has been the most random initial thoughts ever. Oh, yeah, Laoji. How can I forget Laoji? He comes in, he defeats Toy Soldier. That's pretty much what we expected anyway. Where Frankie is in this situation, I've got... Because Frankie should be on the same level, shouldn't he? Or maybe I'm getting confused. Anyway, and the other point that I missed was Rebecca attacking Diamante with a blunt sword. Why did she do that? I know she's 16, but you gotta have common sense even if you're 16. Diamante beats her down, and I'm sure Sammy is celebrating it like like it's Christmas. The fact that Rebecca is down and bleeding. And Sabo actually wants to protect her, which is, I thought Sabo would have his eyes on the Meramera no Mi, and he wouldn't deviate from that, but apparently not. He actually asks Bartolomeo to protect her, calling Bartolomeo Muscle Lemon, which is awesome. He gives names to people. I like this guy already. So yeah, overall, my initial thoughts of this chapter, the Kairos revelation was great. What we got of the aftermath of Tribble throwing a ship at the executive tower, that was great as well. So yeah, good chapter overall. And now Divvens will be next in giving off his initial thoughts. Take it away.
Thank you, Takt. Well, for my initial thoughts, let me first clear out one doubt Takt had himself, is that Frankie was on the same level, but Frankie is not on the same level because these guys are inside the inside the palace, while Frankie is outside the toy house, so they're still at different levels. I mean, different areas, maybe the same level, but different areas. And this chapter, many said this is good. Some said again that they didn't like it, just like the last chapter. But these are the chapters that One Piece is known for. It isn't right to the battle. It's a build-up that makes the battle better. And this chapter had so many small things that made it even more special, as Takt mentioned, the sugar kicking treble. That's something not many noticed in the first look itself, but these small things which Oda adds just makes the chapter even so much better if you notice it. And I had fun reading this chapter from the start to finish. Treble's interaction and the whole thing with Robin and Usopp, and then Usopp having to listen from Leo about the true identity of their captain, which is a toy soldier who turns out to be Kairos. I get a feeling that after listening to the whole speech by Leo, or after hearing Leo's words, the expression on Usopp's face and the words that Leo chose to speak rather, the words Leo spoke, it gives me the feeling that these are the words that were added there just to motivate Usopp to stop being the coward he is and to do something right there and then. Because even now he was planning of running away, and he was even trying to convince Leo to run away, that they couldn't fight Treble. But now, after hearing Leo and, with whatever Usopp believes in, I think there's going to be some change, and I hope there is some change, because even after Leo's words to Usopp, if Usopp doesn't change and if he still wishes to run away, then that's just an all-time new low for Usopp. So I hope it doesn't go that way. Hopefully it doesn't, because Oda doesn't do it. Oda doesn't just regress a character or make a character go back to their very, very old self for no reason at all. There's a good reason, I'm sure. So let's hope for the best. And yeah, nothing much else to say. There was a lot of predictions about the toy soldier, and one of the most famous predictions was that he's going to be Kairos, and that turned out true. And this chapter also showed a little bit of the Colosseum, and we see Sabo ordering Bartolomeo to protect Rebecca. Sabo did say he knows who Rebecca is. So I feel that the revolutionaries being there were, we all already guessed that it's more than the Mera Mera no Mi, and Sabo being there, he doesn't want to let Rebecca get hurt because he knows she's the princess, or yeah, she's the royal family of Dressrosa, the rightful royal family as of now. And I think Bartolomeo being ordered to protect Rebecca means Bartolomeo is going to go against Diamante, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll get to see if his Flutter Flutter Fruit can work on Bartolomeo's barriers, and we're just going to see the battle get on now. And I also wanted to add the blunt sword that Rebecca uses. It's not only her. Even Riku used a blunt sword, and I forgot the guy's name who knocked out Riku, but whoever knocked out Riku also mentioned that, hey, old man, what are you going around doing that, what are you doing in the Colosseum with a blunt sword? So it seems to be a running thing in the family that even Riku was using a blunt sword, and now Rebecca is using a blunt sword. And I would also like to add that Rebecca managed to make contact with Treble. I don't know if she used a speed or she just got Treble off guard, but if that sword was sharp, she would have cut Treble's leg in some way or the other. She would have hurt him. So it's stupid that she attacked with a blunt sword, but she still attacked. So I don't know how this is going to go. She got smacked and our helmet broke and stuff. But let's see. It's the Colosseum is going to be interesting now that Rebecca is taken out of the picture. It's just Barto versus Diamante and Sabo versus Burgess, with Rebecca just being a handicap, in fact, for Sabo and Bartolomeo, because they would have to always look after and protect her and stuff. But I'm hoping great things from the Colosseum, and many are as well. And that was my initial review for this chapter. And next up is the guy who just changed his username recently, Sammy.
Okay, thank you, Divvens. To be honest, you two said everything there is to say about the chapter. I share a lot of your opinions, as well as disagree with a few, very few. But overall, this chapter was how do I say this? It was a reinforcement to the last chapter when it comes to three main parts. Treble, we get to know more of him. We get to see that he's actually, just like Takt said, being a little bit off character. They're just either that or he just has these swings where he just gets really angry at some point. But all in all, this fucking panel, the first panel, like when I opened the chapter and I was reading it, and then all I see is a duck in my face, just looking down upon everything and everyone. I laughed so hard. I was like, what the fuck? And then it falls, but we get that off panel. But at the same time, oh, that was beautiful. Like, I'm really happy it wasn't a normal ship. And the ship that was thrown wasn't the rhino or the giraffe. It was the duck, which I found, like, I don't know if Oda decided to go with that, the duck, and he made the fucking ships animal based just for this comedic purpose. But props to that, if he really thought of it, if that was actually in his mind, because I loved it. I fucking loved it. I just spent 2 minutes talking about the first page. Holy crap. Okay, so overall, the chapter I found was comedic and dramatic more than epic. And personal preference, I'm more into epic chapters where we have huge reveals. Hence, I mean, Kairos and all, but it was either Kairos or a dwarf. And to be honest, I wasn't really surprised. Like, oh, okay, so now it's confirmed, good to go. And I moved on with my life. It was simple as hell. But overall, I mean, the first part with Trable and him, how he just made this sticky mountain-looking object with dwarfs just stuck in it, and then when Trable is talking, Sugar just out of nowhere, like, casually just kicks him, and then just keeps going. Nothing really happens. She doesn't say a thing. Trable doesn't mention anything about the kick. It's just there. I found that hilarious, to be honest. And as usual, Usopp being a complete and utter, like, dude, I know Takt said we shouldn't really talk about this because we already did, and it's getting annoying to just repeat this, but at the same time, you want to fucking bail? Like, really? Really? You want to leave? Like that? You were in an island that eats you. Like, the island in of itself, where you slept, was dangerous for 2 years. And the first threat that you have, the first, like, legit threat in the New World, you want to bail. Cool. Yeah. That's, so much for, getting out of the weakling trio. You're not even in the weakling trio now. You're the weakling individual. And I mean, okay, Nani would probably run away. Anyway, that's just my opinion on yourself right now, because that ticked me off a little bit too much. The flammable, sticky whole shebang added to, Sugar's ability, Treyball's ability, I thought was brilliant. I really like the fact that Oda's finding ways to make this stickiness, of an ability, to be not just, how do I say this? It is already powerful because it's used by a powerful person, but at the same time, not unique as well. And I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I'm just gonna go with intimidating. Like, at first you think that he's just gonna stick people and that's it, but then he uses it for flinging ships and blowing things up. So props to Oda for once again making us think Devil Fruit is weak, but then just shutting us up completely. Even though I didn't think it was weak, I stopped thinking that a Devil Fruit can be disappointing, after a certain point in time. And like, especially with Law, because at first when I saw Law's ability in Subway Archipelago, I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I saw it in Punk Hazard and I was blown away. That part was, I liked it. As far as Lao G and Toy Soldier, my favorite panel, believe it or not, not the duck panel. My favorite panel is that one panel where Lao G just kicks the Toy Soldier. Why do I say Sugar every now and then? Lao G just kicks, the Toy Soldier, and he's just posing like Bruce Lee. And I love this panel. I don't know. Like, this guy is the ultimate old badass Bruce Lee with the weirdest attire that you can possibly imagine. And he pulls it off. I don't know. Let's just roll with it. And, Trable, Pika's ability making things quake even there, and just all of the aftermath of it is brilliant. And it causes some sort of, distraction, for the dwarves to get in, which was, a good thing. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of pathetic how he can't really defeat, Lao G, but he thinks, even with a plan to defeat Doflamingo, because Cabo says something about shooting him. Bro, you will need you'll need one of the 3 ancient weapons to shoot him with, if you really want to go for that. Just saying. You being Kairos is not enough. You're old, you have a missing leg, I guess, and you're out of your prime. It's not really a discussion. The flashback, I didn't care about. Personally, I didn't care about, because it was reinforcement for things that I know. And Rebecca turned out to be a crybaby. Like, completely. Like, she rivals Shirahoshi when it comes to crying. And I didn't like it. I was just there, to be honest. And yeah. As far as her getting knocked out, I loved it. Simply put, I don't think Diamante would have actually cared, even if it was a blade, because he would have just moved. He's far faster than her, even if she's known for speed. That's what top tiers are all about. Not top tiers, but you get my point. And all in all, him being Kairos and all, it's just, I expected it, because it was either that or him being a dwarf, but let's just roll with it and say that it makes him more formidable. And I love the fact that he's actually Kairos right now, come to think of it, because his voice actor is amazing. His voice actor is Takamura's voice actor, and Emiya Kurotsugu from Phase Zero. Both these characters are one of my favorites, if not in my top 10 favorite characters list, especially Takamura. So now it gives him more credibility. He has one of the most epic voice actors, and at the same time is an epic character. I mean, he's still Kairos, so I give him that. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts. And we're now going to move on to the key points, which are, as you can see, this chapter didn't really have too much, as I said. And as we all know, this chapter was straightforward. You get a flashback, a mini flashback. You get a few reveals here and there, and the underground world storyline progresses to a certain degree. And we have from that 3 key points. The first being the aftermath of Trevor's Meteora and the continuation of the underground storyline. Now, for some reason, I want to say Fujitora, but yeah, I just have to say that. So yeah, the aftermath of Trevor's Meteora and the continuation of the underground storyline. What we get from this key point is basically Trebol gets anything, most of the information he needs from the dwarves, and then finish them off, quote unquote. Also, Trebol's sticky ability is flammable, and Usopp wants to escape in fear of Trebol, but the dwarves refuse to escape since this is the last hope, and quote unquote, Captain will do his part. Yeah, what do you think of the aftermath of Trebol's anger and Meteora, if you will?
I frankly didn't expect that the sticky fruit would turn out to be something as it is had turned out now. Like, who would have thought that it's going to be flammable, and he's going to use matches and, things to set it on fire and create explosions and stuff. So that adds a lot of variety and versatility to his already versatile paramecia. I'm presuming it's paramecia. It is paramecia. It's just a matter of time until it's confirmed, because we all know that paramecias are always so versatile, and the fact that he can use fire apart from his devil fruit just adds a lot more. And there are many people saying, oh, it's fire, it's going to be his weakness, Usopp is going to fight him with fire. I don't think it's going to be that big of a weakness. I just want to make it clear to all these people saying this, because he himself is using fire and, setting
but
flame to...
okay.
What?
No, because if Usopp can shoot one of his fire stars at Trebol while Trebol is covering himself in sticky substance, then won't he be affected as well?
I mean, the thing is, I don't think this is a debate, to be honest, because if you can put it this way, then that means every devil fruit that has a weakness can be taken advantage of by almost everyone, and it doesn't really matter because, do you see Usopp taking advantage of Crocodile's weakness, or Enel's weakness, or Aokiji's weakness, or Ace's weakness? No, because they're really powerful, and it doesn't matter, and he's weak. So I don't think it's like...
It's this guy's power is almost like Magellan. So even if somebody would throw water at Magellan or do something, that sort of the poison wouldn't be affected. So I don't think that if Usopp just shoots a fire star or firebird at Trebol when he's in his sticky form or whatever, and he catches fire, he may be just able to put it out as well. It's not that...
That'll be fun. There's always a little bit of Trebol's sticky stuff that comes out of his nose. It would be funny if Usopp set that on fire, and if that thing, like some sort of those bombs in cartoons?
Yeah.
Where fire catches onto one end of the rope and then it goes all the way in and then it explodes.
Yeah.
So it catches on one end of his snout, goes inside his body, and his body explodes.
I could see that happening if Trebol wasn't as fast as he is now, because I think he's going to easily dodge anything that Usopp shoots at him, and Usopp can't use Haki as well.
The thing is, with Usopp at the moment, he should focus on his match that is made in heaven, Sugar, because we both know that it's a match made in heaven for both of them.
Yeah,
But at the
short
same,
range versus long range, yeah.
and little girl, not as intimidating as a huge sticky man versus little girl versus Usopp, which is typical. But what is gonna happen with Trey-Bolt? Because this is Trey-Bolt's part, and Trey-Bolt's part is confusing me as fuck because there are two options. Three, sorry, and if you want to add another option, then by all means. First option, third party interferes and helps Usopp and Robin, as well as the dwarfs. And the thing is, I don't see it happening as much right now because after this encouraging speech, it would kind of seem off that after all of this encouragement, you just decide to give them physical assist. I don't know. Second option being them somehow shape or form defeating Trey-Bolt and Sugar, which no, sorry, no. Moving on. And the third option is them losing and not either losing the fight but winning the battle, losing the battle but winning the war, quote unquote, by knocking Sugar out, but being knocked out and Trey-Bolt surviving and but still losing this whole thing. So what do you guys think? What do you think?
I think they should go for the third option. I think they should focus on distracting Trey-Bolt while aiming all their attention on Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment Sugar is knocked unconscious, you have countless number of toys in that underground place who will all turn back into human, and they are all powerful people. Well, not all powerful people. Most of them are powerful people. You know what I mean? Like
All of them are
Cavendish and
angry, at least, which is
yeah, and all of them are angry, and it's going to just turn on into this huge underground brawl where everybody would just jump on Trey-Bolt because Trey-Bolt would be the
keep going.
yeah, Trey-Bolt would be the nearest executive there, and they would be pissed off at him. So that's where the third party comes in. The third party will take care of Trey-Bolt.
So you're combining option 3 with option 1. I like it.
Yeah. So I think that's what Robin is smart enough to know that that's probably their best option. Like focus on Sugar first, and then
should we say that Usopp is smart for knowing that he's no match for Trey-Bolt?
Usopp is he isn't considering that at all. He's just considering I'm no match for anybody. Just to let me run away. So that isn't a matter.
It's like you said in the previous podcast. He's scared of the toys. Yeah, he's scared of the toys. So he's scared of everything at this point.
I have this little bad feeling though. I somehow have this really, really bad feeling that they're going to manage to knock out Sugar, but none of the toys are going to turn back to normal.
Oh, Jesus, come on, you can't do that.
It'll go into a desperate kind of situation where the toys are not turning back, even after they have knocked out Sugar, and they're like, no, Operation SOP is failing.
But where would that get us then?
Despair is something that we've had as a factor in One Piece arcs to a just destructive degree. Remember, and there's always this whole notion of just losing at first and overcoming the loss, but at the same time, it's usually with the main three. It's usually very quick, very sudden, and very straightforward with the weaker Straw Hats. But at the same time, how is that going to happen? Even let's speak logically. If she's knocked out, then that's it, right, Divvens?
Yeah, but
logically speaking, that should be it.
It should be. But how is she knocked out? How does she get knocked out?
Bash her head in with 17 blows with fucking Gigantomano. How about that?
Why? Yeah, that's the other thing. Why hasn't Robin done a?
I don't think that's going to happen because they are all still seeing her as a kid, and they don't want to hurt a kid. Their first plan was to just knock her out by scaring her.
Oh, screw that, man.
Yeah.
I think Usopp is gonna be the one who knocks her out. He's gonna be like, screw this, even though she's a girl. I have a mission all of a sudden, and I don't want to run, and I'm a man, and I'm gonna hurt this little girl and prove myself that I have redeemed myself.
I don't see that happening. Not unless he's got that Sogeking mask somewhere.
Which I'm waiting for. What the hell are you talking about, Doug?
Yeah. Okay, fine. So I'm waiting for that too. It was supposed to be a sarcastic suggestion, but if he does have that Sogeking mask somewhere.
Because I mean, it's been since Punk Hazard since we've seen Saga King, which is a really long time.
Punk
Did I
has.
say Punk Hazard? Did I say Punk
Yeah.
Hazard? I meant Bark. I meant Thriller Bark. But yeah, I mean, we've discussed Usopp's part and Robin, and actually just how this part can conclude itself. We've also briefly talked about the sticky ability, but I just want to point out that Frosh from OroJackson mentioned how he thought it was a match, that the thing that he threw. I didn't see it at first. My first impression, which I think would be more devastating, is that he threw a bit of his sticky ability, like just took it off of his body and threw it, and then it engulfed in flames somehow, and it occurred this, created this combustion, if you will, which I think would be better.
But how would it do it, like, on its own? How would that happen?
What, you mean one sticky collides with the other sticky to make flames?
The scientific method I have, I don't want to.
Let's not bring science into this.
Yeah, I don't want to pinpoint the scientific method whether he just kind of, if he squeezes it hard enough, it can combust, or he freaking uses two sticky substances, like two matters of sticky substances, and he can create some sort of spark. How the fuck is... Okay. Does anyone have a guess about how he does it? Because I personally don't want to go there. But does any of you two have some sort of guess regarding what this ability?
We've seen his speed, right? We've seen the way he flicked one of his boogers at the fly and then it died. So maybe he can flick his boogers against each other and that causes sparks due to the friction.
The only thing about that is that it was already midair when it combusts.
Yeah. And I think we just have that one little panel as of now. But when we
it's
see
a match.
Doing
why don't
more,
we just settle on the fact that it's a match?
For now, we can say that it's a match. When we get to see more, then we can comment more. Because as of now, that one little panel isn't enough to make much sense of.
Yeah, I have a point. Yeah. We will see more of his ability and how it somehow incorporates flammability and just fire in it. But yeah, the second key point being the Rebecca and Toy Soldier flashback and Rebecca's resolve versus Diamante. Basically, from this key point, we get reinforcement regarding how the Doflamingo hoax made everyone, including Rebecca, impatient, and they lost their shit really, and they refused to wait any longer, and they just decided to strike, all of them. And also, the Toy Soldier tells Rebecca she can't fight in the Colosseum because she's not prepared, and many other reasons. And he also, while he's doing that, he confirms her age currently in this timeline, which is 16 years old, very young. I might say so myself. The Toy Soldier also and Rebecca argue heavily, with Rebecca telling the Toy Soldier that Kairos doesn't exist and he's not the real father, yada yada yada, just 16-year-olds bitching and whining. Also, Rebecca attacks Diamante with her full, after the flashback, she attacks him with this just, you can see the anger in her eyes and how she's yelling and screaming while she's about to hit Diamante. The attack obviously doesn't do anything, especially because of her blunt weapon, blunt sword, which leads to Diamante commenting on that and hitting her very hard and making her bleed. So yeah, what do you guys think? Personally speaking, I don't really care about this flashback, but yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't care much about this flashback either, honestly.
Wow. Are you both? So I have to be the one here who plays devil's advocate and tries to speak about this point because
you're the empathizing one.
Yeah, I do empathize with them for their past and stuff, because It's a sad backstory.
It's
And
that I don't empathize. God damn it, this word. It's just that we already know this, don't we, Divvens?
you know what?
Like this whole notion of this struggle going on, and they argue every now and then, and apparently the only thing we got from these 3 pages, or more actually, is that she doesn't think he's the real father, her age is revealed, and she doesn't think Kairos is real. That's it.
Yeah, that all those points just went like through his heart. He was like, no, Kairos isn't a true thing. It's a legend. You're not my father. And he couldn't speak back. He couldn't, the fact that he couldn't even change his expression, he just had to wear the toy face expression. It kind of adds, like, if you think about it emotionally, he must be going through so much because he knows everything, but he can't. I don't know why he's not telling Rebecca. I mean,
We have
obviously
speculated at the time.
she trusts him and loves him and whatnot, but he still hasn't told her, though he has told the dwarves, because obviously they know. So when he could tell the dwarves, why couldn't he tell Rebecca? If the telling effect has a, issue.
That's a good point, actually. This guy he told the dwarves who he was. Why didn't he tell Rebecca?
Hey, wait, Divvens, why the fuck did he not bring this up earlier?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just brought it up now.
Shit.
Wait, so basically...
I did not realize the fact that he told the dwarves but he didn't tell Rebecca.
Yeah, so
Makes
Leo
no sense. What? No.
Leo and Cabo somehow know, but the bitchy, whiny teenager doesn't know.
All the dwarves know, in fact. Because,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
the people who mentioned it. Why the hell is that?
I don't know why. If he has told them, or the dwarves remember, I don't think the dwarves remember on themselves, because we saw their own friends get turned into toys and they didn't remember who they were.
They didn't remember.
So it
there's
is,
no way they'd remember Carlos.
Yeah, it is explained by himself, I'm sure. But if
Is
he
that a
explained
plot hole?
I don't know. Maybe he told it to Rebecca and Rebecca didn't believe it or didn't want to believe it, and she was being the rebel.
Talks about how if you trust this toy so much, you'd be even more of an idiot to not believe his words. Like that's just rude. That just makes you rude, really.
Wait, so
maybe Toy Soldier himself.
I don't know if that makes it a plot hole though.
I'm thinking.
He didn't tell it because of his pride or something. He didn't want Rebecca to know that. I don't know. Maybe like he didn't want to see his father her father in such a sorry state or stuff like that. You never know what reasoning.
Wait, hang on. Maybe he's ashamed. Because
we did talk about that. It's not enough.
He let his.
Do you remember what Diamante said?
Yeah, he let his mother die.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she already kind of knew that. But at the same time,
no, it's like
you realize
he let Scarlet die in front of his eyes, and whenever he sees Rebecca, he will be like, okay, I should tell her who I am. No, I should not tell her who I am because I could have saved her mother, but I didn't. I couldn't.
Do you guys realize that the dwarves somehow, some way, has kept this a secret?
No.
This is a big thing. This is a really big thing. Like they kept it.
The dwarves who just keep blurting out everything have kept this a secret.
From Rebecca, from the Don Quixote member.
Oh my god, that's like Treble just filled
We're just unveiling stuff continuously.
Yeah, Treble was like, "Oh, who was he with you? He was my friend. What was his name again?" Oh, you mean Usoland? And he was like, "No, damn it, I fell for it." So the fact that they kept such a big thing a secret from like not only Rebecca but everybody, it's surprising.
Things that you realize when you're discussing One Piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it really didn't strike any of you.
No, not at all.
I didn't. Look, Div, you cared about the flashback. Takt and I read it probably. I'm like, oh, okay, and then just kept going with life as it was nothing. But yeah, good job finding that and
good job, Div.
Being the devil's advocate. Here.
Paid off.
It paid off. Yep, it did. I still don't get that
Yeah,
flashback.
we came up with revelations that are
And who would have
huge.
thought Rebecca was 16?
To be honest, I mean, that
I
Divvens
mean,
was mentioning how in the thread he was writing
yeah,
how she's it's normal for a 16-year-old to be this quote unquote big, and I'm like, no, it's
No
not.
way.
It's not.
Only in the One Piece world.
And yeah, I mean,
Or
first,
only in Japanese manga in
does
general.
that justify her stupidity?
what?
Like, does that
It
justify?
justifies her naivety. I wouldn't call it stupidity,
No,
honestly.
naivety. I mean, stupidity with using a fucking blunt weapon in a battle against an elite executive, and just these kind of things that I've noticed with Rebecca, which annoyed me all the time. I don't know. Like, how do you do that? How do you use a blunt weapon and just a blunt sword in such a fight? That baffled me.
Rush of blood to the head. Classic teenager excuse.
I'm not sure. Maybe,
Yeah.
see, it is running in the family, that's for sure. But the fact that she went ahead with the blunt sword still, even if it is family. And this shows that even though she hates Doflamingo, even though she needs to survive in the Colosseum, she's still going with a blunt sword to attack a man like Diamante. She is not fit to be a pirate, so people, please stop wishing and hoping and theorizing that she will be the next Straw Hat, because that would be the worst thing ever to happen in One Piece.
Yeah. We all know who the next Straw Hat is.
You don't. It's gonna be cute. No, we're not gonna say his name. We're not gonna say his name. All we're gonna do is cue the audio. Cue the audio difference. This is where the audio is cute. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Really, the thing is, she also thinks that the Marinomi is gonna give her the ability to defeat Doflamingo. Like, just these things annoy me to no god end. Like, just I hate these kind of things. But let's just move on from this, because Rebecca is not the thing that I want to talk about. What I want
Who
to talk
knows, actually? She might be able to set Treyball on fire, and then she carries Treyball all the way to Doflamingo and uses Treyball as a sword to defeat Doflamingo.
What the hell?
like a flaming Treyball sword to defeat Doflamingo.
Dev, can I make a theory about that in the One Piece theories?
Rebecca is going to turn Trebol into a sword and set him on fire.
With the Marinomi, and then she's going to defeat Doflamingo. Can I do that? Okay. Maybe it's good enough for me. That's it. That's all I needed. All right. Fun times. Let's go to the next key point, which is basically the true soldiers, the toy soldiers' true identity being revealed, and Operation Escape from Lauji is a success. First of all, Lauji kicking the toy soldier and handling him easily. Second of all, Div wanted to say something.
I was going to say you should have kept the mix-up. The true soldiers' toy identity.
Screw you, man. That's not gonna happen, sorry. But yeah, the true soldier's toy identity and Operation Escape from Lauji is a success. There you go. Lauji is shown kicking the true soldier and handling, I'm not gonna do that one. And handling him easily. Handling, did I said handling, come on. Stop mishearing things. Friggin' BMO turns into Batman. Nobody's gonna get that. Read Kingdom, guys. Read Kingdom. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, we're deviating enough. The dwarves, what the? Divvens, read the key points, subpoints, please.
Lauji is shown kicking the toy soldier and handling him easily. Kabu reinforces the importance of the toy soldier and how he will be the one to defeat Doflamingo. I don't know what they're talking about here with the shooting thing. I just hope they're not believing that he'll use the toy soldier gun to shoot the Doflamingo.
Frickin' flintlock.
The dwarfs hold Lao Ji back, which gives Krasse and the toy soldier room to escape and head towards Doflamingo. Leo confirms the toy soldier's identity, Kairos, the legendary undefeated gladiator.
Okay, so this part,
I don't
not
know,
really
like, when,
about.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the first thing I thought when I saw the panel was the lift opened and Lao Ji, the first thing he did was punch toy soldier out of the lift. I would presume, kick. I would presume that he would try to keep him inside the lift, but he just kicked him out of the lift.
Dude, the only thing I cared about in that panel was going, Hwaa! That was the only thing I cared about. That, please,
I mean,
anime.
does this guy have no teeth?
Does he even have eyes?
That's a good point. Does he even have eyes?
He wears glasses for some reason, except that he doesn't. He's too old to have eyes, teeth, and fight.
No,
And
and he's also too old to be wearing
that's what we're gonna call it.
exactly the baby
But
suit.
Divvens brings up a really good point about how babies. What the? Divvens brings up a really good point about how basically Lao Ji was one of the reasons why the toy soldier managed to escape, because distance is really important, and if he was stuck in this small box that we humans like to call elevators, as well as One Piece humans, what the fuck? Anyway, anyway, so if he was at least there, he would have been trapped, which would have been a good thing. And God forbid, actually go down again in the elevator and not go back up. But anyway, are we going to see more of Lao Ji? Big question for me, because I like Lao Ji and I want to see more of him. Are we going to see more of him? When?
He made a stand and he made the statement that he's not going to allow anybody get through. And I think he's going to stand on that statement, or else that statement is going to go stale, and his character is going to go stale that he couldn't even stop a toy and a couple of dwarfs. So I think that he's, of course, going to make a return and stop Toy Soldier from proceeding forward.
Yeah. And I do see some epic shit happening. Like, he stops Toy Soldier, and at that exact moment, Toy Soldier turns back to Kairos, and he's towering over Lao Ji.
Yo.
So Kairos defeats Lao Ji. Yeah, that I can accept that more than Toy Soldier in his current form running away.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pursuit is gonna proceed with Lao Ji and Toy Soldier, even though he was completely like off track. Like it kind of seemed like the way it was portrayed in the manga is kind of how they moved on from this whole Lao Ji thing. It was like, all right, so this is over. We're gonna hold him here while you just run away with your lightning bolt speed and all of that. And now what you need to look at is Doflamingo. I don't know.
Okay, just now, the scenario we spoke about, Toy Soldier running away, and then Takt brought up the fact that he can turn into Kairos, and I'm just imagining, like, Toy Soldier running, and Lao Ji is behind him, and SOP
I would just fall.
SOP proceeds to go the right way, and just the minute that Lao Ji is almost caught up to Toy Soldier, he turns into Kairos and then one-shots Lao Ji just to hype his so-called confrontation with Doflamingo, where he'll eventually lose. He's like, the minute he turns into a human, he just one-shots Lao Ji.
That's possible, but that means really soon the sugar will get defeated and Trable will.
Yeah, that's true. That has to happen soon. But we have to keep in mind that the timeline of all these events are almost same. So now we are seeing the underground thing, but we are not seeing what's happening with Pika, Luffy, Zoro, and Lao Ji did mention that Pika is going crazy. So maybe the time that we haven't seen them, they will be showing it there, and then like it's going to continue in parts and parts. And maybe
That's
eventually
possible.
the time will make up, just,
Yeah, the struggle continues as well,
yeah.
which more credibility. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I like Laji a lot, and I don't want him to get one-shotted. That's personal bias here. That's one. Two, the thing is, it's plausible for his return into his human Kairos form to be not just a casual return where, hey, look, I have human flesh now. No, it's going to be, hey, look, I have human flesh now. Smack someone in the head. That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
That would be an epic return.
Yeah, I agree with that. Takt has a point, and Oda will make it happen in some way, shape, or form. That's one. Two, what do you guys think of? We kind of just talked about it, but Toy Soldier, Kairos. He's Kairos. What do you guys think of that?
Uh,
Happy, sad, disappointed, excited,
None of the above, because it
None
was
of
so
the above,
expected.
because yeah, I
relieved Ellie.
I thought
He's not Obito.
let me be different and let me think about something else, but it turned out to be so predictable. Like from the time Kairos was shown and from the time Rebecca's father was revealed, people thought that he was Kairos, he was King Riku's son, but it was confirmed that he's not royalty. It was his wife that was royalty, and then it was just kind of like really obvious that he's Kairos. Almost all the fans would have guessed that he's Kairos. So I didn't expect it to take such a predictable turn, but I guess it also holds a lot of impact now in the future.
It is a setup. I mean, it was some sort of setup where like they show Kairos, and then the toy soldier was behind, like cinematically behind the statue
Yeah.
when he Rebecca, and it was like
Yeah.
just there as foreshadowing, if you will. And all of that, I need to bring this up because this is the last point and the last sub point to be the key point. I just realized that the connections Oda had in this chapter were really nice put. Like the way he mentions how Usopp saying that he's just a legged soldier, a one-legged soldier, and how this flashback, even though I didn't like it as much, it mentions how he's not going to be Kairos, and then it leads up to Leo's speech, and then it leads up to Cabo's speech, and then back to Leo until we see this epic face panel of the toy soldier being confirmed as Kairos. So the reveal isn't really a big of a deal. The execution I thought was well written. As I mentioned before, did it make me happy? Did it make me sad? Did it make me anything? As Takt said, it really didn't have any sort of impact because I was talking to Takt while reading the chapter, and like I swear to God, I read the part. I was like, all right, so he's Kairos, and then we moved on and talked about something else
Yeah.
because it was really obvious, but I was relieved that it wasn't for example Obito or something. That made me happy. It wasn't really someone. It was good. It was good that he's important. It was good that his voice actor gets justice because just epic voice actor. And all in all, I liked it. I like the fact that he's Kairos. It's not a bad thing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at least the fact that he's Kairos doesn't make the fact that he is going up against Doflamingo such a laughable thing. Because if he was just Toy Soldier going up against Doflamingo, we would have just laughed, and we did laugh.
To be honest, I still laugh about it,
But not as much.
Not as much, and at the same
Yeah.
time, it's harder to convince people on OroJackson why it's impossible. There will always be a few people who say, but he's Kairos, he's the legendary hero, he's the strongest gladiator in history, so it gives him credibility. It does, but at the same time, he's way out of his prime. I mean, he was out of his prime 10 years ago when he gave up, when he stopped being a gladiator.
20 years ago.
Well, no, 20 years ago he was a gladiator. Around 10 years after, when he stopped and kind of chilled with Scarlet and
No. He stopped.
No, it's 20 years ago.
He stopped being a gladiator 20 years ago. 10 years ago, he was
Really?
turning the first toy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 20 years ago
Yeah.
when he stopped. God damn.
That's even worse, actually.
Yeah, the guy is old. and he also is really rusty, and let's just see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, the guy is probably going to have white hair. He's going to resemble King Riku in appearance, in my opinion, but he's going to look more beastly, judging from his statue. Is he going to resemble the statue? I think so. What do you guys think? Let's end it all there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to resemble it.
Maybe without the armor, he isn't going to resemble it that much, but he's going to have a lot of significant resemblance. And the fact that Luffy was so attracted to that statue and the whole thing, maybe that was an indication that he's going to like Kairos as well when he meets him in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this confirms 60-year-old Kairos for Nakama.
No, please, no.
It's a joke.
I've had it up to here with Nakama discussions for fuck's sake.
It's a joke. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. My bad. Sumimasen.
Sorry. I should just take it as a joke.
Okay. Thank you for laughing at my joke. All right, now we're going to move on to the free talk discussion segment. And since we talked really about everything in this chapter, except this one tiny thing, we might as well end these discussions on it. And it'll be short, but it'll have some information. I guarantee you that. The part where Sabo mentions how he wants to protect Rebecca indirectly with Bartolomeo's help, a.k.a. Muscle Lemon, a.k.a. what was his name first at the beginning? The first nickname? Please, someone remember.
Oh, shit. I don't remember.
We forgot. It's over. Yeah. It's not going to work. But anyway, the man of many nicknames, Bartolomeo, he is now assigned the duty of protecting Rebecca. He was kind of pissed off at that when I saw his reaction. I was like, what? Nah, that kind of thing. Because he actually talked trash to her earlier. What do you guys think of that generally?
Wait, who talked trash to Rebecca?
Bartolomeo. He was like, how dare you speak to...
How dare you speak to... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't really call that trash talk, but that's... Never mind.
He did say a few things that were kind of insulting.
He did look down on her, yeah. But the fact that Sabo had hinted that he knew who Rebecca was kind of gave me the feeling from the start that Rebecca was going to be a sort of a liability for them and would turn out to maybe be the reason for the cause of a fatal blow to either Bartolomeo or Sabo when they try to protect her instead of concentrating on their fight. Like, let's say Jesus Berg goes like, let's just take, if he notices Sabo is taking interest in Rebecca, he's like,
you think he cared that much?
I think he would. He would just try to take advantage of the battle and he would be like, I'm going to take out your girl first, or whatever, like that.
Sabo cares that much. Because, I mean, he already got...
No, I mean, one of you brought up the really good point, which is the fact that the fact that she's royalty. And she's the rightful family, royal family or whatever.
Exactly. She's
successor, blah, blah, blah.
So the Rebos would care about that.
And the Revos are there for a reason. You both believe that, right? Sabo being there isn't just for the Mera Mera no Mi. So they do know who the Riku family is. They are aware of maybe some of the bad happenings that has taken place. They have investigated Dressrosa for sure. And Sabo knows who exactly Rebecca is, and thus he wants to make sure that Rebecca doesn't go and get all her bones in her body crushed.
Yeah.
The thing is about that, he did tell Rebecca that expect this to go wild and prepare yourself and whatnot. But at the same time, the way he said it to Bartolomeo after she got completely and utterly devastated with that blow, he was like, oh, geez, this woman. All right, protect her, Bartolomeo. That's the way I saw it. Maybe I overlooked that part, maybe because that's the way I wanted Sabo to say it.
Yeah, that's the way you wanted Sabo to say it. He did not say it in any... he didn't say it like that.
He was more like, oh shit, oi, muskmelon or whatever Mango Stream translated.
Muscle lemon.
Yeah, he said shit.
Yeah, he was like, shit, go protect her. So he was like, I don't want to see her get hurt but she's taking damage there, so keep going into your job, Bartholomew. And he suits for this role as a protector with his barriers.
Yeah, he is the protector, to be honest. He's going to be the tank of the crew. He is, I'm telling you guys.
And then the fact that Bartholomew himself was surprised, like, protect that girl? What? And then, but he's going to listen to Sabo, out of the respect and the admiration he already has. He's going to, and then Diamante says, Rebecca, your mother Scarlet, do you know how she died? I'm sure we're going to get at least a half chapter flashback some or the other time.
Yeah. While reading that, I was like, as if it wasn't enough that you beat down a 16-year-old girl, you're going to bring up her traumas? Are you seriously doing that, Diamante?
Does he even know she's 16?
I think he does. And
he should.
I predict that after telling this flashback, or after telling him how her mother died, he's going to turn his sword into a really sharp object and try to stab Rebecca or pierce her, and Bartholomew will use his barrier, show up, and he'll be like, get away from her, you prick. I've been ordered to protect her, and I'm going to protect her.
Yeah.
Which,
I can totally see that.
Which brings me to something else, about, the whole Bartolomeo and Diamante fighting each other while Sabo and Burgess fight each other. I don't think that's gonna happen, to its full extent, because Diamante's main goal is to prevent the other three from taking the fruit. The other three, because I don't mention Rebecca right now. So, are we
He's not going to ally himself with anybody because he's alone.
You can't. I mean,
no,
I can't see.
But by this point, wouldn't Sabo and Bartholomew both know that they're working towards the same goal and that it would benefit if they work together? It's already clear that they're working together.
No. You misunderstood me. Bartolomeo gunning for Diamante, while Sabo guns for Burgess. Yeah, I see that. But is Diamante gonna just stick to Bartolomeo and fight him? And is Bartolomeo even as strong as a elite officer?
I think Bartolomeo could be around the power scale of the monster trio. Like, I would say around
He's
Sanji.
just underneath them for me. Just under them.
Above Frankie, under Sanji, somewhere there. So I think he could deal with one of the top tier of Doflamingo's crew. Like, he is the captain of his own crew, after all.
And a crew in the Near World as well. And he's formidable. He's not a comic relief like Caribou. He's actually a serious...
He's made a name for himself. And I do see him, just like any other Straw Hat would, I do see him struggling, almost nearing defeat, and then improvising and improving and, going a step above himself within this fight. Because that's what is going to happen against Diamante. And
at the moment, I don't know. Because, I mean, Diamante is the hero of the Colosseum, and his vision is that this guy, Luffy, like the guy that is as powerful as Luffy, I will defeat him. I will prevent him from, like, do you get to be this confident at the same time get outdone by a weaker opponent?
Well, confidence and overconfidence are two different things, And
as we have seen countless times in this arc.
They have always underestimated Luffy every turn and every second. And that Diamante wasn't going to be of any, he would be a challenge, but he wouldn't be that big of a challenge to Luffy as compared to Doflamingo. But what I feel that has made Diamante so confident about his winning in the Colosseum is because it's this Colosseum type of event where, first of all, his flutter fruit gives him a really, it's like hacks, it's really hacks, live hacks, because you're allowed only one weapon. Each gladiator is allowed one weapon. Technically, he only has one weapon at a time, but he can turn that weapon into 1,000 different weapons. So he has a shield, he has a sword, he has a spear, he has anything he wishes for. So that helps.
He's basically a weapons factory.
Yeah. That helps.
He's the improved Baby 5.
Indeed. And Baby 5 is more of a projectile type of weapon, and this fellow is more of a Colosseum close combat type of weapon.
But at the same time, if you compare this guy to Treble and Pika, his power seems very shit.
We haven't really seen, like, the guy is going against, the guy got the bad luck of going against Jesus Burgess and Sabo, bro. While Treble is toying with dwarves, Usopp, and really weak people.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And
Treble gets to show off more because he has.
And Treble is focused the most in that part, while the main focus is on Sabo and Burgess at the moment on the final battle in the tournament. As far as Pika, Pika's just Pika. He's like, fuck this guy. Anyway,
Pika could just be like the strongest of the three.
we don't. I mean, the guy is powerful.
He can control stone. I mean, the other thing about Diamante I wanted to say is that his power is not that hacks if he cannot affect living beings.
Yeah, exactly. That I agree with. I mean, if the fact that that it's even a possibility that he can't, I don't see why he couldn't. Like, I've seen like in this arc, you can turn humans into toys via touching them. You can turn humans into a fluttery-ish type of object, which is an artistic object, with Jorah's ability. Why can't you turn them into actual flutter if you touch them? Yeah, he still hasn't done it.
That can be possible, very much possible. And there's also, I know Rebecca is weak, but her speed, we have seen the limit of her speed already, and she took a right on total blow to her face with the club or whatever that was that Diamante created, and Diamante just held her with his leg. He just stomped her leg and didn't allow her to move her whole body. She couldn't even move her head out of harm's way. She just,
Weak. She's weak. She's a burden right now. That's what I'm saying. If Cavendish was there, it would have been so much better as a fight.
I know she's a burden, but at least she could have, like, ducked or moved or weaved and bobbed. But no, she had to make it right.
Diamante made that impossible. I mean, let's be fair to Rebecca a little bit.
Exactly.
Diamante made that.
I'm saying that Diamante could do that with just a single feat. So his flutter fruit, I think, is going to complement his overall strength and the fact that he is the what is the tribe called, long leg tribe, and his feet are going to hold tremendous power.
I'm still waiting for some kicks though. I want some kicks from this guy, please. Oda, show me some kicks.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it.
A kick that'll shock the whole Colosseum. Like
dude, come on. Come on.
Yeah, by the way.
What if he kicks Burgess into the walls of the Colosseum? That would be fantastic.
And then Burgess flips the fucking...
You just want to see the Colosseum flip, don't you?
I just want to see, that's... Oh my... The possibilities of Diamante actually hurting Burgess or Sabo.
Okay, so what if Diamante can affect living beings and he turns Burgess into a fluttering object?
The thing is, I mean, with hockey, you can... How the fuck...
And then Burgess hardens himself with hockey and he just becomes this concrete slab on the side of the Colosseum.
Oh my god. But I do... Sorry, Sammy, for just interrupting you. But the fact that you brought up Luffy and Diamante ready to face Luffy, Diamante didn't back out even after seeing Burgess, right? He wasn't scared. He wasn't even...
Not at all.
Why would he be? I mean, okay,
exactly.
let's just say Diamante was outclassed, which I think he is. I think he is outclassed in this battle.
Barely.
But, yeah, just barely. Let's just say he's outclassed. He's not going to run away from it.
No, he's not.
He's not even going to show anything.
Run away is a secondary thing, but the fact that everybody was shocked that it was Burgess to some extent, even Luffy, not out of fear, but he was shocked. But Diamante was like, I see this every day kind of reaction.
Yeah. And to be honest, so far, we expected him to like use his ability in a way where he cheats. So far, he hasn't, which is props to him. He's using his ability in a completely fighting way where it really kind of shows us why he is the leader of the fighter corps and not the special operation corps or whatever. Like, he uses his ability to create weapons to hurt, and that's really what he's been doing so far. And yeah,
but you have to agree. I mean, like we said just now, he's outclassed just barely.
Because
he has to pull out some tricks.
Yeah, he will. I mean, if Luffy is gunning for Doflamingo, even though I think Doflamingo is outclasses Luffy at the moment easily, without even question. But we're going to see where that goes. If Luffy can outclass, can gun for Doflamingo, and then we have someone who I think is stronger than Luffy for many reasons, Sabo in there, it's safe to assume that the underdog, at least, of the big three, is Diamante.
Yeah.
Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah, that is the best way to say it. I think the only one a little below Diamante is Bartolomeo. But while you guys were speaking, I started to wonder, can Diamante make himself flutter?
How would he do that?
Why would he do that?
Luffy is rubber. He can turn it. He's rubber himself. If this guy is a flutter man, can't he flutter himself?
What, for shock absorption purposes?
Yes, shock absorption, or he can change his own body form.
He can become a sword, and Rebecca can use him.
And then defeat Doflamingo with fire. Yeah.
No. Takt, I got the perfect theory. I got the perfect theory. No. Rebecca is going to take Diamante, turn him into a sword, apply the sticky substance on top of the sword, set it on flames, and then go to fight Doflamingo.
No. I'm going to make it even better. Rebecca is going to be the next Santorio user, where she uses Diamante as one sword, Pika as another sword, and in her mouth, don't even ask. Don't even ask. And then Treeball, the stickiness of Treeball in her mouth.
Oh my god.
That sounds so bad. The stickiness of
wow. Okay, moving on.
Oh, I just realized how bad that sounds. Holy crap.
She's just 15. 16 rather. I mean, that still shocks me. How is she 16? Even Vivi is 18. I expected her also to be around 18 or something.
And the one who now by leaps and bounds, I would like to say.
Maybe it's a hint to all the people who believe that she's the Nakama that, she's totally not the age now fit for Straw Hats currently. All of them are above 17, 18.
Whatever, man. I mean, Chopper is really young. He's like 14 or 13, but he's an exception.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, the thing is, I would like to also say why I reinforce how I think Rebecca resembles Vivi in many ways, where she's the crybaby princess who wants to get rid of the big bad wolf, Doflamingo.
Vivi is not this much of a crybaby. I'm sorry, I have to stand up for Vivi.
Vivi cried so much, dude.
Vivi was also naive, same type of naive. She didn't want anybody to die. She didn't want her friends to die.
Screw you both.
Nah, don't be biased, Takt. I don't dislike Vivi.
Sammy. For Rufy, we hate Vivi.
Takt, I mean, I kind of take back what I said. Vivi is a really bad character because the thing is, I'm also gonna cue him in right now. Rufy thinks he's, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. Poor guy. No. He already suffers a lot. All I'm gonna say is, go read the part where she talks about her father when they're disguised, and she cries for like 30 minutes, and it killed me. Okay. End of discussion.
You do have no soul.
What the? Okay.
Vivi was bigger.
I'm just biased towards Vivi.
Vivi was a bigger crybaby than Shiraoshi.
To be honest, I mean, she really cried a lot. But anyway, Takt is confirmed. He has a crush on Vivi. So yeah, that's
I
that.
make no bones about it. I actually do, but
At
never
least
mind.
she's 18. At least she's 18. Anybody who has a crush on Rebecca is crushing on somebody below 18.
Can't really beat pre-time skip koala.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Shame on you, Div.
Let's end the free talk discussion here with confirming that Takt has a crush on Vivi.
And he's going to fight Rufy.
Okay, so that ends the free talk discussion. We're going to move on to the final thoughts of the chapter and include our individual rating. I'm going to start off with, well, this chapter, to be honest, in my opinion, is actually, I like the last chapter more because it had the introductions of the characters and the chaos in that last chapter was a lot better. Especially since this chapter had a part where I completely and utterly didn't care about, which was the flashback, and it held a lot of meaning towards this chapter, and without it, it would be really short. So to give, that was kind of my summary of how I'm going to rate this chapter. But to be more detailed, basically the first part with Treybol and his aftermath, and the aftermath of Treybol actually, and all of that. I mean, it was, take it as it is. It was good. I liked it. I liked how his ability has this new sort of idea to it, which makes it, the idea of it being flammable. It creates a lot of possibilities, and it makes him more formidable, and at the same time more of a threat. Even though apparently flinging a ship wasn't enough. So let's just, it's a good part. The second part with the flashback, I don't think it had necessity. It wasn't something like, it's not the kind of flashback that after I'm done with it, I would go, thank you, Oda, for giving us this flashback, which enlightened us and we were waiting for it. It's not that kind of flashback. It's just to create this whole connection between the chapter, connecting every bit until we reach the last, panel, which confirms that Kairos is the toy soldier is Kairos. And if you actually think about it and take it the other way, this makes this chapter a little bit slower paced than usual because Oda extended the amount of pages required to confirm the identity of the toy soldier, which is true. I mean, it was an uneventful chapter overall, especially since we all expected it to be Kairos, either that or he's being a dwarf for various reasons and theories. But yeah, overall this chapter gets this part gets an okay from me. The third key point being the reveal of the toy soldier's identity and how he escapes from Laoji and all. Not much happened in it except the fact that the main part where Leo confirms that the toy soldier is indeed the strongest gladiator, the legendary undefeated Kairos. That in of itself makes it get a good because it's a reveal, even though if it was expected or not. It's also kind of rare for us to predict something so easily, but it wasn't really the kind of thing where Oda was trying to make it unpredictable. He was just building it up, showing us examples and hints as to why it is very plausible, which is true. So yeah, overall, this chapter will get is it going to get a good or an okay? For now, I'm going to give it a good, and maybe I can change. I might change my mind later on, but for now, I will give it a good rating. And Takt, give us your final thoughts.
Thank you, Sammy. My final thoughts on this chapter, well, I loved the bit where you saw the aftermath of Trebol's Meteora. By the way, why aren't people saying it, calling it Meteora? The fact that he has such a beautiful attack name, it should be used more often. Anyway, the fact that the ship's head was a duck and it just crashed through the building, that was hilarious and I loved it. And how Sugar actually rebukes Treybol for doing what he did, and Treybol doesn't give a shit. I like that. Although I was a bit troubled by the fact that why would Trable, an executive, destroy the tower? Why would he do that? Even if he's pissed off, why would he actually destroy the tower and not be not repent about it? Because the tower is an important part of the whole procedure. But anyway, that's something that we can go into later on, if we actually go into it. Overall, the aftermath of Trable's destruction from his Meteora, it gets a grade from me because I just liked it. It was good stuff. And bonus points for Robin's, scenery, I guess you can call it. Anyway, the Rebecca and Toy Soldier flashback. Like Sammy said, this was okay. It didn't progress anything. It wasn't a flashback where you would be like, it wasn't a flashback that opened your eyes so much. It was just a flashback it's one of those flashbacks that it adds padding to the story and it adds a little bit extra to the story, but it's not groundbreaking or anything. So that would be an okay. And the reveal of Toy Soldier's true identity as Kairos, it was expected. A lot of people saw it coming. Bonus points for Laoji's cake and his mannerisms. Always, they will always get bonus points in any chapter that they're in. But yeah, his reveal was good, and the execution of the reveal was very good, even if the reveal itself was, expected. So overall, that gets a good, and that's a great, okay, and a good. So on average, the chapter gets a good. Yeah, those are my final thoughts. And now, Divvens, go for it.
Thank you, Takt. You guys have summed up the final thoughts pretty well, considering that this chapter wasn't, that eventful, as in things took place that we already knew, or it was more of a setup chapter. Half of the chapter went as a flashback. 2 pages were spent for the interaction, of 3, 2 to 3 pages were spent on the interaction between Leo and Usopp, and it wasn't that much of a content-filled chapter, rather than it was just taking forward the current plot with just normal points and normal pacing. It didn't have any kind of battle. It didn't add anything new to the story. It did reveal Toy Soldier's identity, but that was pretty predictable, and for many, that didn't even have that big of an impact. Like, the last page would have a lot more impact if it was something unpredictable. Like, the anime is going to add that Dawn soundtrack when that happens, and he's going to be like Kairos with the statue on his background, or maybe a voice of Kairos or something like that. But that Dawn impact was missing for various reasons. Because it was mostly predictable, and I hope that not too many predictable things happen, because Oda always is known for doing the unpredictable. So let's I hope at least that a few of the things which are very commonly predicted doesn't take place. It would just make the story that much better. The first key point, the aftermath of Treble's Meteora and the continuation of the underground storyline. As I said, this was the little bits of art details that Oda added, such as sugar kicking Treble and the interaction between Treble and the dwarves, and the dwarves again showing their gullible side, and this even adding more and more questions as to why and how they managed to keep Kairos' identity a secret, or because it is confirmed that even Doflamingo himself would have forgotten who the hell Toy Soldier is, because we saw what happened with Cavendish. The minute he was turned into a toy, even Trebol forgot who he was. So the fact that the dwarfs know his identity and the others do not know is just boggling, that such creatures who are so easily swayed and so easily just they can speak out the whole world's secret if you know your way with them. That's basically the thing. So for whatever reasons they kept it a secret, that's a well kept secret for them. At least they can keep a single secret. The interaction between Treble and Usopp interaction between Treble and Leo was quite entertaining, especially the fact that he got duped not once but twice back to back. That was just funny. And after that, for his information, he got a blast to his face, sadly, and he was bleeding. He was injured. He flew towards Usopp injured, and I still don't know how Usopp could suggest running away, seeing Leo in that situation. But yeah, that's just Usopp for you. The second, so this part gets a good from me, and the good is only due to Sugar and Treble. If it wasn't for Sugar and Treble, and if it was only Usopp in this part, it would get a really, really lower rating than me. And of course, Robin, though I don't see Robin as the others do, but sure. The second key point being the Rebecca and the toy soldier. Why is it the Rebecca? It's Rebecca and the toy soldier's flashback and Rebecca's resolve versus Diamante. What can I say? The flashback for me personally, even though I do not like Rebecca as much as I like any other OP character, but I'm invested in their past. I am emotionally attached to their past because the whole father-daughter relationship ruined by Doflamingo. God knows how many else Doflamingo has caused this pain. Like, I'm sure Rebecca and Kairos aren't the only father-daughter combination who are separated. There'll be a lot of other children who have lost their father and who has been turned into a toy, but they don't remember. But the toy remembers, and the fact that somebody brought this up on an OroJackson discussion, the toy is getting the human disease that is what the humans term it as, when they start remembering their memories and they want to try to get back to their family and tell them that, oh, look, it's me, I'm here. Generally, when they are in a contract, they can't do that, but some toys manage to do that, so that's another mysterious thing that's happening. And answers are required. I was pretty disappointed that the toy soldier can just not follow orders due to Sugar forgetting to make a contract, but I was expecting something more, but whatever it's fine. I don't really care anymore about that part because I don't see it changing. So that this gets a good from me again a good because I am emotionally invested in it, even though I do not like Rebecca that much. The third and the final key point, the the toy soldier's true identity, and Operation Lao G he needs to escape from Lao G. The fact that the whole lift thing took place was a bit weird. I would expect a responsible Doflamingo Don Quixote family officer to keep their target within an area where they can, know that they can't escape. The smaller the area is to fight, the bigger advantage Lao Ji had, but he just kicked him out for some reason, and the dwarfs now overpower him and hold him back, while back at the elevator they were getting owned. I don't get how they got this sudden surge in energy to hold Lao Ji back, but I hope Lao Ji stands up to his word and doesn't let anybody get through. The fact that he also spoke about Pika causing a ruckus was a good addition. That means Pika is surviving against Luffy and Zoro both up until now. So I want to see what's happening on that front. Kabu reinforces the importance of the toy soldier and how he will defeat Doflamingo. I don't get why the whole Riku family is being desperate. As Doflamingo said I was going to say yesterday. Wow. As Doflamingo said some chapters back, that it's the day that King Riku and his family were getting desperate for some reason. Even Kairos himself is desperate. 20 years without fighting, and this Shichibukai guy, this Doflamingo who is the king of Dressrosa, this person who toyed with white belt commanders, he's in his prime now. So I think Kairos is not going to hold anything in front of him. And this desperation, I just hope it doesn't get him killed or something. And Leo confirming the toy soldier's identity as Kairos, that was, as I said earlier, it was expected, it was predictable. Majority of the fan base predicted it, and usually when majority predicts something, it's either very, very clear, like an admiral's identity or something along that lines, or it turns out to not be that at all. But this time it turned out to be quite predictable that he's Kairos, and let's see what the future holds for Mr. Kairos and Miss Rebecca. The plot is getting interesting now. I just hope it doesn't end up with somebody dying, because if a death is involved, then we know for sure what the future holds for us, which majority of us don't want. This overall, the chapter gets a good from me. It would get a great, but the make or break factors, there's more of the break for me, Usopp, and the reveal of something so predictable. It's just a good chapter from me. I enjoyed it, but it's my final verdict would be good, and that's it for my final thoughts of the chapter.
And our unbiased rating overall for this chapter, I'll just start off saying that, yeah, I thought it was overall a good chapter. Nothing more, nothing less. I would actually give it an okay to a certain degree, but I did like certain aspects, and it wasn't really average. It was more than that. So yeah, Takt, go.
I have the same opinion. I would give it an okay, if not for certain little bits that made it more than an okay chapter. So it's a good chapter for me. Divvens.
I would also give it a good, mainly because of sugar kicking treble. That just wins the chapter for me. So this gets a good from me.
And now we're going to move on to the Q&A segment. We have, as usual, 5 questions, 5 great questions this week, of course. The first question from Sengoku, and he basically talks about how in this chapter we discovered that Kairos is the toy soldier, and we know that Rebecca is the princess of the old kingdom. This means that Kairos was fighting in the Colosseum. His question is, why was he turned into a toy if he was already a gladiator a gladiator?
It's a good question. That was, like, we have seen now that the gladiators are being turned into toys, and the losing gladiators are being forced to fight battles upon battles upon battles. But when this all began, and when Doflamingo took over the country, we need to remember that Scarlet, Rebecca's mom, was royalty. She was King Riku's daughter. They were hunting her down. They were trying to eradicate the bloodline of the royal family. We saw that she got killed as well. So turning one of the strongest people in Dressrosa into a toy would be the first step to remove any kind of hindrance to the plan.
That's true.
Not to mention the fact that if Kairos was Scarlet's husband, he would obviously be in the palace. And what is the first place that Doflamingo and his Nakama hit first? The palace.
Alice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's obvious. Maybe Doflamingo was not in the palace himself, but at least Sugar was there. We know that. So
basically, what we know is that
Sugar would have seen Kairos and she would have turned him.
Of course.
That's the point.
The thing is, he also, we can safely assume that he was caught so fucking off guard. That's a safe and very legit assumption. At the same time, I do have to mention that in the flashback of the puppeteer flashback where Doflamingo takes over the country of Dressrosa, we see what's mentioned, and basically the soldiers who rebelled, the citizens who had some sort of say in the matter, anyone who posed a threat at that point was either killed or turned into a soldier, a toy. Sorry. So it's fascinating that Kairos was turned before them. So basically, it kind of tells me that it was a longer than 24 hours process. So I just wanted to bring that up. But as far as why, one, he's a royal. Two, he's a threat because he's powerful. He's a powerful gladiator, unlike Riku, who was manipulated easily, oh so easily, and Rebecca, and who was kind of 6 years old, so it doesn't really matter. And Violet was kept human because of her ability, which Doflamingo took advantage of. The Scarlet got killed, and Riku got turned into a toy. It's just that it's just how it was. And it's justifiable that was the reason. He was simply a threat. He was either going to get killed or turned into a toy, and that's what went on. And him being the first made Sugar learn from her mistakes, which was the mistake that she didn't give him a contract. And the next question is from Monkey D. Hasashi, and Monkey D. Hasashi asks, do you think Kairos really thinks he can beat Doflamingo, or do you think he has some sort of plan?
This is a tough one, honestly.
It's not actually that tough if you remember. Kairos
the
slash
general idea.
Yeah, on the lift he said no, I will make it through. So even there he was just determined and desperate, and here also I think his plan is to just go straight, turn into a human, and try to kill Doflamingo.
He's in his toy soldier form though.
Yeah, he's waiting.
What is that?
So any sort of battle prowess that we see in his toy soldier form shouldn't be taken seriously in terms of what he can do to Doflamingo.
I don't think. I mean, the thing of it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's not a battle. Kairos cannot beat Doflamingo for sure.
It's not really going to be like, I have come to beat you. Prepare yourself, Doflamingo. It's not going to be that, because we already know that it has something to do with assassination. Basically, the main idea was said by Leo and reinforced in this chapter by Kabu, which is to shoot Doflamingo when he's off guard and assassinate him, which is what the fuck.
No. And what is he going to shoot him with? He just has that toy gun with him. It isn't even a real gun.
Dude, I would laugh my ass off. So
I didn't even know he had a gun. Come to think of it, yeah, of course he has a gun. What else will he shoot Doflamingo with?
So basically, that's the weapon he wants to use.
What?
He beat the goons with the.
Divvens said that he beat the random fodder.
Yeah.
With a gun.
Yeah, he beat them. Like with the stock area, he just.
Yeah.
Hit them on the side and stuff. He didn't even shoot it. So it's a toy gun, and I wonder what is he going to use to shoot.
What is he going to do with a toy gun? Honestly.
I'm unsure. I think that.
Okay, so let's.
Yeah.
What is his plan then? He can't possibly use the toy gun. Is he going to throw the dwarfs at Doflamingo and hope something happens?
Assassinate him with the dwarfs. I mean, to be honest, their nose is fucking sharp as hell.
No, I think Kabuto's with them, right? There's a Kabuto like dwarf.
Cabo.
Okay, Kabo, yeah. The rhinoceros beetle. So that horn can do some damage, I'm telling you.
God damn it. Takt.
But the dwarves are nothing. Like, their speed is outclassed and fodderized by just.
Oh yeah, Takt was joking. Takt was just making.
I know. But I'm just saying that for anybody who believes that the dwarves are going to play a role against Doflamingo, I mean, the first time they were introduced, oh, dwarves, they're so fast, they're so strong. Zoro is surprised, and then they're just manhandled by not even the executive officers, just the lower level officers. That's just
Sugar.
What the hell, yeah.
And everyone. But yeah, I mean, Monkey D. Hasashi, it's very straightforward from what we've seen so far. If it's something else, then we would be surprised. Me, Div, Takt, we would be slightly surprised at least, because it seems like it's gonna be some sort of assassination, catch him off guard, shoot him when he's not paying attention, kill him, end his life kind of similar to how miserably the dwarf plan failed with catching Sugar off guard.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be just a reoccurrence, but it'll have its different twists and maybe conclusions. Maybe the death of Kairos when he's actually in his human form. Just things, things that I'm gonna bring up. And
yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think Kairos can. I don't think Kairos thinks he can beat Doflamingo. He is just determined to beat Doflamingo. There's a difference.
And he wasn't really thinking of beating him 1-1. It's just an
assassination plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer to your question, Maki Hasashi. By the way, I like your name. Just saying. I like saying Hasashi. It sounds cool. Hasashi, sushi. What? Hey, moving on. Malicy asks a question which we all did and we all talked about in the podcast, outside of the podcast, with our friends, with people who don't even watch One Piece for some reason. Basically, Malicy asks, is Oda making himself like a coward to give him a big comeback with a great fight in the end? Or will he be rescued by any of the Straw Hat members? First of all, I would like to say that no, him being rescued is going to be so bad. It's going to be like fucking Soga King being rescued by Sanji, like he was in Enies Lobby, and then he's going to do something cool, which was really cool, the sniper thing. Of course, all the way from the building to the gate, the final part.
Tower of Justice, all the way to Spandam's face.
Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Just brilliant. But him being rescued, he already got rescued by Robin.
Yeah. Any more rescuing is going to kill his character. It's going to make
It's gonna slaughter his character.
Yeah. And I do feel that Oda is making Usopp a coward to give him a big comeback. But I don't know if the big comeback is going to be with a great fight or just his acts of bravery along with him being determined to take on Sugar and Tribble.
I don't like characters like that, though.
That's the thing, yeah. Will his comeback be something where he sacrifices himself so that the plan will work, or would it be an actual win, like an outright one-on-one win against Sugar?
Tribble. No, he's not. Tribble's not going to be taken out by Robin and Usopp. Also, to add to that, Sugar is going to be there, and Sugar is already enough to handle to keep Usopp away from Tribble. The thing is he going to sacrifice himself, sort of, just for a short period of time? Yeah, I mean, I thought Robin was going to have that because she's the disguised shadow clone jutsu, one of the two, while he's the sniper who shoots stuff. But the thing
I still see Robin distracting Tribble, though.
No, we must not forget that Usopp is always the one, because he's weaker. He finds the opponent's weakness and he works his way. He doesn't go head on like Luffy.
Sure.
He doesn't go head on like Zoro. He doesn't go head on like Sanji. He goes miles away, and then from the side, he's like.
That's the thing.
That's what he needs to do against Sugar. Honestly, that's exactly what he needs to do.
And he's going to do that. And I was going to say this, that he isn't alone. Once he stands up, once he gets motivated, once he makes an epic speech, all the dwarves who follow him and adore him like Usoland are going to get this massive surge of, confidence, and they'll be like, Usoland is with us. Let's go all out, even if we end up dying, kind of.
First of all, I don't want the dwarves to help Usopp any longer, because they're already bleeding, they're already losing teeth, and they're already almost dead. I mean, that's it. You guys chill. Let Usopp handle this. Second, I mean, currently Tribble is the biggest threat, and the only way Usopp would be redeemed. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Just hear me out. It's not gonna happen, but just hear me out. It's just hypothetical right now. If somehow Usopp finds a way to shut Tribble down, not defeat him, but shut him down.
Okay, if Usopp becomes the sacrificial bait to take Tribble out of the equation and let Robin handle Sugar, then yeah, that would be redeeming.
Something like that, it doesn't have to be exactly like Robin taking Sugar out, or just something that, like, he has a part in shutting Tribble down. I would kind of think that would be good redemption. It's just that I don't like these kind of characters who always need speeches to grow some balls. I get sick of it. It's kind of like Naruto in the last war, and just I'm sorry for giving you examples of a different manga, but that's the only thing I can come up with at the moment in my head. I don't like it when people need 17 speeches in one battle just to man the fuck up.
Especially when he's shown instances of manning the hell up.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple times.
Even in Alabasta.
Yeah.
Hell, he taunted Lucci.
Yeah, that was to motivate Luffy, but the minute I saw him getting scared of fodder in Punk Hazard, I knew that we are going to see the old Usopp back soon, and that he's going to be...
Why are we... I mean, I know it's a fact of life and we can't change it, and the only thing we can do is complain about it, but why are we seeing the old Usopp again? This is just stupid.
Exactly, like, don't regress your character, at least show the Usopp that you showed in Fishman Island. That's all we ask for. Just some sort of confidence, some sort of snarky here and there.
I don't mind the jovial, I am scared of this, I don't want to go, I have this disease. Sure. Yeah.
Like, be intelligent and say that I'm not going to be able to take out Tribble. That I will respect. But being scared of everything, even the toys, to the point where you want to run away, no. But just to
He's taken it too far in this arc. It's no longer funny. It's too much.
And this is a kind of a plug-in to one of my friends. I mean, it's really kind of... I just remembered something, because, I mean, this thing has sparked a lot of discussions, but there's this guy on YouTube called Master King JC. He made a 17-minute discussion on Usopp and how his character has been revolving around regressing and progressing at the same time. If you guys want to watch it, it's going to be a great video to watch. He goes in depth completely when it comes to Usopp, the character, and Usopp, the post-time skip development, and rather regression. But yeah, I mean... As far as Malice's questions is concerned, big comeback, sure, yeah, it's gonna happen, because that's what happens with Usopp. He does something really stupid, we get pissed off, and then he shows us a big comeback. And frankly, I'm tired of it. And is he gonna get rescued? No, he's not. He already got rescued. His clean slates with getting rescued are over. He had 2, they're gone. So, you guys, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, just want to add that while he may not be rescued by any of the Straw Hat members, there's that thing that we mentioned in the beginning, during the key point discussion, that both him and Robin will be sort of rescued by the third parties. All the toys turning back into their respective people,
as long
like Cavendish, etc.
Usopp, and Robin managed to knock out Sugar, they have managed to defeat Treble also in a way. So if that happens, it's fine.
As long as Sugar is knocked out, the operation is a success, and they did their part.
Yeah.
And Tribble is screwed because he's going to have Don Chinjao on his ass.
Don Chinjao, Cavendish, and God knows who else.
I have to do that. Sorry.
He's gonna rip a hole in the underground. He's gonna make a new underground.
I mean, hey, I kind of wanted to... Okay, we're deviating. Let's move on to, as usual, Chopper's questions that always... Well, at least at this time, they're not going to make us sad or hungry, so that's a good thing. Chopper666 asks, which Doflamingo executive is your favorite and why? And screw you for this question. I can't answer it right now. I have to think really long and hard. I'm probably not going to answer, but yeah, you guys go for now.
My answer is clear. It's Baby 5 for obvious reasons.
Wait, what?
Obvious reasons? What? You're going to have to explain those obvious
You're going to have to explain, dude.
No, I don't have to explain. It's Baby...
Yes, you do have to explain.
Chopper asked the question, and he himself likes Baby 5.
No.
I posted
Okay.
an image on Facebook and he
We
said,
want to know.
"Come on, baby 5, marry me," or something like that. I don't know. I think
I
he
want to
posted.
know.
But yeah, no, baby 5 as of now is one of my favorite Doflamingo Don Quixote family member, because the others are, quite special in their own way, and baby five's attitude and the way she talks, the way she smokes, everything matches Sanji so much. It's like they're meant to be together. And her attitude is one of the coolest attitude we have seen in any lady character up until now in One Piece. It's unique for a
Hot
female
damn.
character. It's different from Nami as well. Nami is a goody two shoes. She's the thieving one, the deceptive one. Robin is the intellectual one. The one who rarely brings out expressions or emotions.
Are we
And Baby 5 is just the needy one.
are we
Needy
hearing
She is the needy one.
no, sorry. Are we hearing reasons as to why Baby 5 should become Nakama?
No, I'm just saying that she's unique.
Where the heck did you get that from?
Baby 5 becoming a, by the way, that would ruin the relationship that Sanji and Viola have, FYI. So I wouldn't want that. But,
Hey, I Viola's joined the crew a little bit more than Bartolomeo now, which is a big fucking thing to say. So I mean,
for me personally, Baby 5 is my favorite Don Quixote family member.
I didn't expect that, to be honest, but
I really didn't expect that.
I really didn't expect that. But yeah, sure. I mean, you have your reasons. I kind of listened, but at the same time, it didn't make sense. Like your reasons were like, I like her
No,
because
I think we should make an announcement that Divvens likes needy women.
How is she needy? She's unique.
No, she's got that. No, I'm referring to that quirk of hers.
Yeah.
Where she's like, somebody needs me, and then she goes towards them.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, I was referring to that as well.
She's your favorite character in the executives, and you didn't realize that. You probably should rethink. So,
No. I didn't say it for that reason. I said it for her reasons of her similarity to Sanji and her nature, which is different from
I didn't
any of
notice
the
that
female
actually
characters.
because
that's fair.
now that you mention her similarities with Sanji, there's this panel that pops up to mind where she has the cigarette in her mouth and she makes this expression that Sanji makes. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm speaking. Yeah. And she was like, "I hoped you like this missile of this love of something. I hope you like flamey love missile of this baby girl, something like that." Yeah.
That's the one. That's the panel. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm convinced a little bit. Yeah, I'm convinced.
Anyway,
okay.
so
First of all, for this question, I actually thought it was going to be. For some reason, I was under the impression that you were only talking about the top executives, like the main three. Since it's not just the main three, the answer is
easy.
It's so easy. It's not even funny. The answer is obviously Senior
Pink.
It's easy.
It's too easy. It's too freaking easy. The guy who brushes his teeth with a shoe brush in the middle of battle.
The guy who wipes tomato off of his mouth with bras.
A bikini. Oh my god. Shit.
Whatever
the guy who opens his battle with a German suplex.
Everything we say is going to be in the past, so it doesn't really matter. All we can care about is the future, and the future is that Senior Pink is epic.
And he's hard-boiled.
Hard fucking boiled.
Hard fucking boiled. Oh, wow. So we pretty much have the same choice. Senior Pink fanboys, yeah.
At least I am unique.
Wow. Bravo for being unique. Senior Pink, dude, I fucking love him. Holy shit.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, so that was easy for me. That was actually unusually easy. I thought I was going to have a hard time between choosing. But the second would probably be, why am I thinking of that? I mean, it's gonna be Violet, but because it's unfair for the executives, because it's easily, Senior Pink. But yeah, I mean, the guy is just pure epicness. He's bold. He's hardcore. He's badass. He had that spark about him that he was going to be something. He's going to be with this fucking pacifier and the long sword and the attitude and the women around him. And then like, this guy has potential to be something. And then when his agenda begins and when we see more of him, he's not just something. He is everything. Okay, I'm fanboying too hard. All right,
he's not everything. He's not One Piece.
Well, didn't we discuss that? And we
did actually. So Senor Pink might actually be One Piece.
That's the thing. Like we've discussed this before, and he could probably be the One Piece.
Yeah, and we also discussed the fact that his shoe brush gave birth to Madara
and
from Naruto.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We discussed many things about Senor Pink. So his successor, the Sage of Six Paths.
Yeah.
Trable. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Holy crap. Lovely. Anthony asks, who is your least favorite Straw Hat? It's plain and simple. My answer is obvious. It's also the same answer as, once again, Takt's answer, but let's go with Divvens for now. Go on, Divs. I put you on the spot right now, so it's all good, man.
Divvens is going to say Robin.
If he does.
No. Robin isn't my least favorite. Why would she be my least favorite?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, just answer.
Usopp.
The way he said it was like, fine, I'm gonna say a name. I'll just do it and get it over.
And it was just...
To be frank, it's been Usopp for a long time, my least favorite Straw Hat.
Ever since his intro? Would you say since his intro?
Not since his intro, but after their journey began on the Grand Line, and his a bit of his cowardly acts in Arabasta before the speech he gave about not laughing on his Nakama's dreams and such, before that, and since then he's just been, it's always been like every island he visits and every island he leaves, the other Straw Hats improve. The other Straw Hats gain something new. The other Straw Hats... No, I'm just saying that he resets. He goes from 1 to 10 in A island, and then he goes back to 0 on the next island. And that, I think, even if he's supposed to be the weakest of the crew, even if he's supposed to be the most human, that is not human. That is just stupid.
Yeah, that is... You've hit the nail on the head so hard, man. That is... He's not... Humans don't regress like this. I mean, Oda said it himself that Usopp is supposed to be the closest character to a human that you'll see in One Piece. Just so that we have something to anchor onto as humans ourselves. But he's not... Humans don't do this.
Yeah.
We don't keep resetting every single time. It's
the thing is, I wouldn't say resetting. It's just that Oda, after the time skip, he gave back all the quirks that the Straw Hats have. Like, he gave back Luffy's joyfulness, even after what happened to Ace and everything. Which a lot of people have discussed this with me before and told me why they dislike that of Luffy, where he's not as serious as they wanted him to be, and he's still cheerful. And I explained to them that, you know, a death is not going to turn someone into an emo, and that would just ruin his character. That is Luffy.
That would be Sasuke.
Oh God, why would you mention?
Let's not bring that up.
God damn it! Now I don't feel like talking.
I have said many times before that I am a huge fan of that arc, and one of the main reasons I'm a huge fan of it is because Usopp stole the show at some point, and that's not something you say very often. You never ever say that Usopp stole the show, but he did. He stood on top of the Tower of Justice and he sniped Spandam's face while Robin was losing all hope, which is something huge. And just for that, Usopp is elevated from my least favorite Straw Hat, and my least favorite coming to that is Chopper.
I kind of wanted to talk about Usopp a little bit more, but sure.
No, you can talk about Usopp. I'm just gonna say my least favorite is Chopper, and so
Well, I mean, to add up to what Takt said, my least favorite is as well Chopper. Sorry, Anthony. And sorry, Chopper, who is listening to this and he has the name Chopper in it. I am so fucking thankful that you're not the one who asked the question. Holy crap. But yeah,
But I don't get you guys. So you dislike Chopper, who is obviously much stronger than Usopp, who
who
obviously
the fuck cares
has
about
more
Chopper?
motivation than Usopp. He even made that epic statement that if for it is for Luffy, I will become a true monster. He gave it his all, even
He's
though
not
he
a true
stood no
monster.
chance.
He's not a true monster, though. In Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, he's been a bitch as well. You can't really deny that. And the fact of the matter is, Usopp, as well as Chopper, as well as probably everyone, are back to their old selves of being scared when they're supposed to be scared and
In
not.
Punk
And
Hazard,
this whole
how was he a coward in Punk Hazard?
I
He
mean,
tried
to
his
be fair to him, he did his stuff in Punk Hazard, like
yeah.
saving Mokka and saving the kids
yeah,
and all
he
that.
isn't.
He
I mean, it
couldn't
doesn't really
go.
require courage,
Yeah,
and
it
that
doesn't
has
require
nothing to
courage.
do
So
with being a.
you can't tell he was weak as well, or not
Okay, he
brave or
was
stuff.
okay. Basically, to kind of summarize what I'm trying to say is how many times was Chopper afraid of names being mentioned since the Punk Hazard? Just
Not just names. He's afraid of seeing
he's,
islands. I
yeah,
mean, I
he's been afraid of many things, and he's not a monster. He's the opposite of monster. The only time he was a monster is when he hit that hammer and turned into a monster in Finchman Island. Even his current monster point transformations, they're underwhelming. They're honestly underwhelming. And the fact of the matter is, his character has actually, in my opinion, been focusing more on emotions more than actually being what this form of monster that he was talking about back when he was in that one island with the birds. He will turn into a monster for Luffy and all of that. He's And don't forget, this is not the best written character or the worst written character question. This is the least disliked, and I have a personal preference. And the structure
yeah.
of Chopper, the type of character that Chopper is, I dislike the most from the Straw Hats because he's firstly a chibi-ish,
He's supposed
cute
to be a cutesy sort of cutish character,
yeah,
and that's not something that sits well with me.
and
I don't know about you, but
you're not gonna see me going, "Oh my God, Chopper is
yeah.
so good with that panel." I'm not that kind of person, and I don't do that. I actually kind of find it annoying sometimes. I don't. It makes me laugh every now and then. Sure, his shyness makes me laugh. His moments where he's compared to a Tanuki makes me laugh. But overall, people give too much hate on Usopp because he's currently being focused as a coward when I'm sorry to say this, but it's Oda's fault for focusing on this comedic quirk of Usopp that he just can't get rid of for the
It's
fucking
not.
views.
No, Usopp's cowardness is more than comedic. What's happening now is more than
Now
comedic.
No,
what
no, no. I mean, it started off as being comedic. I mean, what's happening now is it's been taken too far. But
and Oda wants
It
to
never
keep it.
started with being comedic. It was always that he was a
really,
coward. From when he faced Luffy, he was a coward and a liar. That's the two things Usopp
No, I
is.
mean
no,
he's
no, no.
changed.
I mean, in the sense that his cowardice has been used for comedic purposes.
Yeah, that's like
That's what I meant.
like he's not gonna be he's not gonna have a serious moment where he says, "I'm afraid of you because I'm scared." No, what he does is he overreacts over everything. He has those face moments which by the way, one of the funniest panels, even though it was like him being scared, was the fact when the dwarves mention how he's gonna lead them to defeating Doflamingo, and there's that one face panel where he's just fucking freaking out. He's shitting himself. I found that really funny, but at the same time, he was scared. At that point, it was funny. But now, the only reason why I say he's being stupid and way above what I expected him to be when it comes to cowardice is him being scared of fucking toys. That was my only issue. If he was scared of Trable, I would have understood. That's his character. That's his. I mean, Brooke would be would show some fear from Trable. Maybe not as much. Nami would. Chopper would, by the way. But how do I say this? It's his final goal to get this courage that he so wants, and Oda wants to regress his character for now so he can progress it immensely in Elbaf, which I'm not okay with. You're making us dislike a character a lot more than we should in the current arcs, especially a character that was a fan favorite and is still a fan favorite. A lot of people like Usopp to no God's end because what is he? He's the character that us humans can relate to, even though sometimes, as Divvens said, we can't relate to a liar, hypocrite who, what he does,
jack shit.
Exactly, nothing. He does nothing. I mean, I kind of have that issue with me. I'm unproductive.
It's funny how we both don't like Chopper, and yet we talked more about Usopp's faults.
Well, I mean, Divvens kind of...
No, because Usopp does have more fault, and Chopper as a character is much better than Usopp.
He had one redeeming arc, and for me that just elevates him above Chopper. Whereas Chopper has been consistently...
He's there.
No, yeah, Chopper has either been consistently mediocre or consistently annoying.
Okay.
While Usopp has had his moments and has been mediocre and has been annoying.
Chopper
has had
his
What is
moments
your
as
favorite
well.
moment? What is your favorite moment of Chopper, Divvens?
One was where he went into Monster Point for the first time in CP9.
Okay. That was awesome.
It was a do or die for him to save Robin.
That was my favorite moment of Chopper, yeah. Okay, what else?
You guys disliked him in Punk Hazard, but I thought that for his...
I fucking hated him in Punk Hazard.
Yeah, that's the thing with you both. It was his art.
He was okay in Punk Hazard. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't something that you fangasm over. He was just okay.
He was
annoying. I didn't want to see that.
And all that screaming about Mocha was annoying.
Oh my god.
Just focus on healing her. Please don't scream.
Crying and it's just annoying as all God how.
And so much crying and the fact that he suspected Law of trying to kill the children, and that was just... I know it was supposed to be funny, but for me it was just annoying. The fact that he came out of Law's submarine and he was like, oh no, he's gonna kill them.
If you find that annoying, then you should find Usopp a lot more annoying. But I know...
Why are you trying to convince us that
I'm just saying that if you find Usopp's cowardness funny, like I thought that when Usopp was hiding from fodder in Punk Hazard, it was pathetic. The comment he made in Dressrosa when Big Mom appeared, Usopp was the one to raise a finger at Luffy. He was like, Luffy, you picked a war with him. It's because of you this is happening. That kind of behavior of his just irks me off because he has absolutely no kind of like respect when it comes to those things. He's ready to point a finger at any given minute. He's ready to sacrifice others at any given minute until he gets motivated to stand up. So those are the things that I feel Chopper is much better at. Chopper is not going to let others get hurt. He will get hurt, but he's not going to let others get hurt.
That's really not a deciding factor for me because if a character has a trait of being courageous and the character is dislikable, the structure, the traits, the quirks, everything about a character is just likable. But wait a second, he's courageous. That's not enough. That is not enough.
And I mean, the one more thing I want to add about Chopper is the fact that Chopper's voice actor, I'm sorry, I hate it. I hate the voice in the anime, and that just makes it worse.
I don't consider that as a factor because the anime is not the manga, and I base it on mainly.
No, I know, but for me now, whenever I read the manga, I read Chopper's dialogues with her voice, and I can't stand it.
Wait, do you guys agree or not that Chopper has been getting closer to his dream every arc and he has done more than Usopp?
What has he shown us of like superb, godly improvement when it comes to healing? All he did so far was casual.
By the way, he left the children to Law. Law had to save the children.
That's
Punk Hazard.
That's really
that's because the bloodstreams and all the stuff.
So what's your point?
Law could do as a surgeon. I'm saying that Chopper has at least been working towards his goal while Usopp hasn't. And when I
He
see
did
it as
towards his goal. It's just that it wasn't as effective because we're seeing him being a coward right now. It's just that Chopper was never put in a place
no, he's
where it
always
was
a coward. Mark my words. After Dressrosa, whichever arc is next, whichever island is next, we are going to see Usopp return
unless,
back to the same now. Zero.
unless laugh.
So, I mean, yeah, I think
No
at
other
at this
character
point
has.
we've accepted that fact.
So for me, when I look at the least favorite Straw Hat, I see at what they are contributing to the Straw Hats as a whole, and what are they doing to keep up with their initial promise, their initial goal of help, and as a part of the Straw Hats, how are they helping Luffy? Chopper is of more use to the crew than Usopp.
I really, really, utterly don't really care about that much because, as I said, contribution, his is contributing to the crew, his benefit and all of that. I mean, you can say that the most fucking, the best character is always going to be the most beneficial. That's not really an argument. What I care about is the character itself, the attitude the character shows me, the things they say,
that he gives off.
the vibe that he gives us.
Yeah.
These things to me from Chopper, whenever he's in front of me in a panel, he usually annoys me. When a character annoys me this much, even more than Usopp, believe it or not, then it's a dead end. It's really a dead end. Like right now.
I agree, yeah.
And in Punk Hazard, every time I saw Chopper, I was like, Jesus, dude, stop crying. For the love of God, just fucking end this already. And that was me in Punk Hazard. And when Usopp was afraid of the fodder, I actually laughed for a little bit. I was like, oh my God, he's a coward again. That was my reaction to that, and this was my reaction to Chopper overall. Simply put, really. I can't stand Chopper. I can't.
I have nothing more to say to that as somebody who agrees with that choice as a least favorite.
I think you guys are just hating on him because you don't like cute stuff. Now I'm going to say it.
No, I mean, that is only one part of it. The other part is just, for me, it's just the general vibe he gives off, which I really don't like.
Now you're kind of being unfair. Like you have a type of character that you dislike. You know, like a coward character you dislike the most, and who has these kind of quirks, and we understand that. And I at least, I don't want to talk about anyone else because Takt can hate Chopper for different reasons. I don't know, but for me, this type of character I hate in every manga and every anime I watch. So what's the point? Like, I hate fucking cats in Fairy Tail. I hate fucking what's his name? The small little tiny thing in Bleach. Khan or whatever.
Khan, yeah.
Yeah,
the teddy bear.
Yeah, the teddy bear. These kind of characters I really dislike. The cute little things that you always.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Khan is better because Khan is
the voice actor, dude.
Yeah, the voice actor. Seriously, man, the voice actor for Chopper killed it for me. Killed the character for me. Yeah. I have nothing else to say about Chopper. I mean, to a large extent, I agree with Sammy. So.
Fuck cats, man. Fuck cats. Fuck Fairy Tail.
Ribbon is gonna kill you for that. Fuck cats.
No, not cats. I love cats.
You mean cats on Fairy Tail?
On Fairy Tail, yes. Yeah, let me rephrase it if I remember the name. Escada or something like that. That was their name. What was their name? I don't remember. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a different manga.
Who cares? Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Div has just gone silent. What's wrong?
No, I'm not silent. I'm just trying.
You're becoming violent.
No, not violent.
Like he doesn't want to accept the fact that someone dislikes a character more.
No. I thought this was more of a, like, the least favorite Straw Hat, as in it was being compared to the other Straw Hats and their contribution to the crew and stuff, because that's how you see one of the most least...
The most human of the crew is always going to be the least contributing. And that's a given. A guy who has genius abilities in healing, and a fruit that turns him into a 20 feet giant is always going to be more contributing.
No, but Usopp can still be contributing in his way if he just wasn't this
If he
annoying
wasn't-
every hour.
That's not the debate here. But that's not the debate here. The debate is not about contribution. Even if how they contribute to the Straw Hats may contribute to your own dislike of the character or whatever. But yeah, that's not the main thing.
All Zoro does is beat an opponent every arc and sometimes say cool shit. He's not contributing that much. I mean, he saves the Straw Hats on a daily basis, but he's not really contributing that much. I mean, Sanji contributes more than him. He cooks and stuff. Really good food. I would like to eat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not really a factor to me. I never really cared about that. I mean, I do care about it. It's just that I'm not going to go out of my way to put a character above another character just because they're more helpful. I do that in comparison to other manga because the female characters in One Piece are more useful than most manga. Like, for example, Nami being the navigator who would just, her existence is
Vital. Absolutely vital.
Robin is the insanity checker. Sanity checker. Her importance usually is more towards the future with, the poneglyphs and whatnot. And she's the mind of the crew. And
for now, she just makes sure that Frankie doesn't keep making them form transformer bots all the time.
She also makes sure Chopper, aka Frankie, never gets to make that fucking face again.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but anything else you guys want to say?
Nope.
No.
Alright,
I
so
think we pretty much covered it.
that is that for Why I Hate Chopper. And that is that for the Q&A as a whole. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you hate Chopper as much as I do.
I'm glad it wasn't a Rebecca question, or else Sammy would have gone on hours and hours about the fact.
I don't want to fucking begin about that bitch cry. Sorry.
Wow.
Seriously, you that's just ridiculous.
I hate her more than Obito. How about that?
No way. What
Dude.
the fuck? You have lost your mind if you hate her more than Obito.
She's in my favorite manga, and she's ruining. Whenever she's in one of my favorite arcs, I get pissed.
Sammy, I hope she joins the Straw Hat so that your life is ruined.
Don't do that.
Fucking hell.
'Cause your life is going to be ruined as well.
No, I would mind her being in the crew. It's fine.
You wouldn't mind being in the crew.
Are you serious?
Maybe.
You would actually.
Okay, I don't hate her as much as Sammy, but I would really mind her being in the crew.
Oh God, Rebecca. I like Shirahoshi more. How about that?
Let's move on to the...
Alright, so this ends the podcast, and we're gonna move on to the... That's it. We're done. We're done.
And we're going to move on to...
That's it. We're not moving on to anything else. All we're gonna do is... I will do this before Divvens does it.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, I just want to do this. Expect the best fucking theme ever. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the Doflamingo team he won the Character of the Year, and I'll give one hint. Many people requested this, and you are going to see a theme that you will love, and many people have fear that it's going to be too pink, too flamboyant, but trust us, and it's maybe going to be one of the most used themes once it's on OJ.
And I would also, last week we mentioned how we were starting this Patreon. What the fuck? Anyway, we started this Patreon project in OroJackson for many reasons, and to support OroJackson, to support One Piece, to support the manga, to support really everything we stand for in OroJackson. And so far we've actually reached 10 patrons, and we've reached our
patrons.
God damn it, dude! I've never really said this word in my life.
You make them sound like robots.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you all our patrons. And our first manga giveaway is going to begin in 2 days on Sunday, and we hope to see lots of people participating. The first month is going to be trial on our side as well, and from the second month we can start giving away 2 volumes per month until we reach our next goal, which will then take us to 4 volumes per month.
So yeah, keep supporting us and keep doing your thing. And goodbye, people. Divvens is tired. Divvens is drunk.
Yeah, Divvens has gone absolutely mental.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means, but yeah, let's go.
Mental.
Oh, I thought you said okay. It sounded different. It sounded
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yana.
Yana? Who the hell is Yana?